Ahmed is exposed to a lot of situations that upset him. For example, he stays at a family gathering or goes out with his friends, very happy with everyone, and he is all 110, and suddenly, one time, he shuts down and can't stand anyone anymore and begins to use any excuse to walk or return home and sit alone, even though Ahmed is not shy and knows he deals with people. But when he gets to know new people, he gets into very embarrassing situations. He stays silent all the time because he can't find a topic to discuss, and one day he finds content and likes to ask them about what to start talking about. What are the reasons for the fall of the Soviet Union? Or their information about black holes? Of course, he responds forcefully and says, "What I did is this, but, oh Lord, the earth will open up and swallow me, or I will disappear," and sit and think that he is not normal and has problems communicating. But in reality, why is Ahmed an introvert? He has a different nature than his friend who walks and greets the whole street, and he can sit with people for a week and not be disturbed by any crowd. Today, with Patrick King, we will find out what an introverted personality means and what its characteristics, and strengths are. We will also tell you a strategy for the introverted community to improve their dealings with people. What would they do if the world was completely ruined by them? And love and disappearing, all based on the book A Survival Ticket for Introverts? How to make strong friendships, maintain your psychological privacy, and become more comfortable in any situation. Look, someone is an introvert who listens to us, or is not an introvert, but knows someone who is an introvert. Each one of us has a social battery whose consumption and charging varies according to personality. Is she social or introverted? If someone has a social personality, his battery is charged from dealing with people, whether he goes out with them and attends social events or family gatherings. He dies in crowds and finds himself in the crowd of people. However, if he stays alone, his social battery will be exhausted and he will get tired. As for the introverted personality, it is the complete opposite. He is not comfortable in gatherings, tends to isolate himself, and likes to stay alone with his social battery. Does it charge when he is alone and consumes it when he does not deal with people? If you, my friend, are a Taoist personally, then the definition of the scientist, the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, who is also a friend of yours, applies to you, and that you are a person who focuses on the inner sign. Of course, now you will leave the inner world behind and ask me, do you know Carl Jung? How is the most dangerous? What was it? We are 10 from the 50s, man. Let us focus on the inner world, which means focusing on your thoughts and feelings, and the person who focuses on internal influences, but his problem is that he also analyzes everything that happened to him, or any behavior he did. Meaning if he spoke to someone about a beast in the morning, he would still think about it at night. Why did I talk to him like that? I wonder. He got upset with me. In her hands, Fing King will be more available until after 12 o'clock at night. Other than that, he creates scripts for every event that he will attend. For example, if he has the first interview tomorrow that he will do in his life, he may not be able to sleep from thinking too much about what might happen. How will it happen? In the future? What if there is a problem on the road and he is late? Well, if you ask a question and I don't know the answer, and he continues to continue until he reaches 30 scripts in his brain, and perhaps after all this, nothing will happen to the one who is thinking about it as a loss, and by God, this time can learn programming. For example, okay, I wonder if a social person doesn't suffer like an introvert? Or can he live his life without suffering? Rest assured, my introverted friend, the social person suffers exactly like you, but in a slightly different way, and the essence of his suffering is due to his intense need for others, in addition to his constant anxiety due to being in the spotlight. All people look at him and watch his reactions. Moreover, he does not know how to have fun alone, so he must go out or eat with someone, unlike the introvert. This is the same with regard to suffering. So, what are the introvert's particular strengths? I mean, if I'm an introvert and I want to check on myself, take it with you. For example, the power of observing details can catch things that no one would care about. This does not mean mastering all your tasks and work. Whatever you do, you must do it in the best possible way, in addition to the fact that you know how to have fun alone. It does not have to mean having someone with you, and you are immune from boredom, which means you can sit alone without being distracted by anything normal, other than that you are a great listener. Because you don't like to talk a lot, so you listen more, and people love this very much, so they tell you their problems and secrets while they are comfortable. Well, thank God for the positive side of introversion, but surely there are ways to improve your social battery as well, right? Of course, I was still going to talk to you about 6 strategies that will extend the life of your social battery by a little. The first strategy is silent reactions. I don't respond to people. What do you mean? No, you will only respond with a shy expression or gestures from your body, because they consume less energy than talking. I mean, instead of saying, "Oh, I agree with you," you may shake your head, but if someone asks about the location of something, you can consult with him about it. The second strategy is that you remain the party that asks everything. Don't get bored at a gathering or social event or improve your social battery. Bring silver, ask people questions. Let them continue to respond at their ease, and you practice your role as a great introverted listener. The third strategy is to avoid short, empty chats because they consume your social battery power and are unnecessary. Make your conversations purposeful with people by engaging in them to achieve certain goals, such as getting to know more about the other person's point of view, or getting to the point that a problem occurred at work. This means that there is no discussion about the reasons for the fall of the Soviet Union, because no one will really care about this topic unless he was Putin's grandson, but the fourth strategy remains. To improve your social battery is to focus on the main goal of the transactions. This means that if your social battery is exhausted, but you have a project with 50 degrees that you must work on in order to complete the subject, what will you do? Are you going to the doctor? You say, "I'm an introvert whose battery is dead." Of course, you have to step on yourself for a while and put in front of you the ultimate goal, which is 50 degrees on medicine and rest. How long will it take to charge your social battery? Second, what is this? The fifth strategy is to use isolation. Effectively means that you plan the time in which you will be alone and rest away from people for a while, and the more you use this time in the best way, the longer the social battery life increases. As for the last strategy, it is exercise, then exercise, then exercise. You must get used to facing social situations because of your fear and stress. Some of them decrease with time and consume less energy from your battery. All these words are sweet and beautiful, and we will apply them, God willing, but the introvert does not always like to escape from gatherings. This means that at work, for example, he still wants to leave any meeting. This is not the case if it is a social event such as a wedding or an engagement that lasts for 2 hours and collapses. But if he sits with his close friends, the situation is different and he remains more comfortable. He may not feel the desire to run away until the end of the day. Why did he stay? I will tell you why. I want you to understand that there are 4 main types of social interactions. The first type is a lot of strangers, and this is the most difficult of them. Most of the attendees are people you do not know, such as wedding and engagement gatherings. Here you need to prepare well for it and also rest well afterward, and do not put pressure on yourself. Is it a joy or 2 a week? It's enough, and you stay for 2 to 4 hours, but unfortunately you will have to attend your wedding until the end. Sorry, it's the day I get married as a normal introvert, and don't be happy. The second type of social interactions is a lot of familiar people, and this is the group that you know most of, so you make an effort. Less social effort and more time spent sitting. As for the third type, it is the safety zone. This is your close circle, which includes your friends and family, with whom you can sit for hours without feeling like a burden, or you still want to disappear and isolate yourself. God is good, and the people you deal with are normal as part of a daily routine. Nothing connects us. This is the fourth type. The daily interaction is someone standing in the supermarket or someone you meet without knowing it while you are going about your day. This type of interaction slowly drains you, so keep in mind. Okay, what will you benefit from these types? You will divide your relationships based on them and distribute them among the people you know, so that you can make your social decisions in a more organized way in order to reduce the consumption of your battery. So, if there is something that we have not calculated, what should we do? If the social battery is over and we still have to continue social interactions so that there is no time to collapse, you will practice 3 things. The first of them is improving verbal communication until you have a break at all. You must show the minimum amount of attention and interaction with people, such as shaking your head while he is talking and being aware of resting your head on your hands. This is why you are showing a sign that you are bored. Well, if you are the one. When you speak, practice improving the tone of your voice to give it some energy, even if your battery is dead. The second thing you do if you are disconnected is to set your priorities, and here you make 2 lists, one for the prohibited things that you cannot do, such as attending gatherings in which you do not know many people, and another list of desires. These are the things that you must do, such as visiting the sick or maintaining family ties. Of course, all this has no effect if you don't control your dealings with people. This is the third thing you do to clarify the instructions and limits. Instructions are rules you set for yourself. You will only go out for 2 days at a time, or no staying up late. The distance is 12 o'clock. As for boundaries, you set them for people to regulate your dealings with them, such as if you refuse to do a certain service or apologize for not attending an event. No one can tell me this. It works well with all people, except for my friends or my close circle, and no matter what I do, they don't understand me, and I always annoy them, and when I isolate or suddenly disappear after I finish my social behavior, how can I make them appreciate my nature? Let me tell you that they will get used to your style, but the important thing is that you remain beside them and that your relationship has continuity and stability, so when your energy runs out and you apologize, you sit alone for a while. They understand that it is a normal, temporary circumstance, and that the fault is not theirs, or that you have changed. Okay, we have solved the problem of our close friends. As for the work or school colleagues with whom our relationship is not so strong that they appreciate our introverted nature, they may think that we are conceited or arrogant because we stay side by side for hours and do not deal with them constantly. What should we do with them? In addition to what we said in the beginning, it is possible that you care about communicating with them. Writing WhatsApp messages instead of talking to them on face-to-face will reduce the energy consumed. If you are sharing something like what happened on vacation or part of your memories, you can only tell one of them and let him tell the rest as if he is representing you. Then your words will destroy the whole place without you even speaking. Of course, it is possible that they will let them talk about you while you are not present, but you will sacrifice it in order to save your social battery. You use it for the first tasks. Of course, it is a big issue and will take a lot of your battery power. But it's worth it to try. The most important thing is that you understand your introverted nature, far from the well-known myths, and know strategies to improve your social battery, and also some traditions with which to adjust the boundaries of your life so that instead of fighting your nature, you make better decisions. And be sure that when you understand the topic of introversion, a large part of the pressure on you will disappear. Because it is one of the great difficulties that an introvert faces. It is the constant feeling that he is a stranger among people, and that his condition is not normal. But after this episode, I think you are reassured that there are 1 million introverts. You are not alone, my friend, although I know that you want to be alone now because this video has been written off on your social battery plus, and that I swear, why are you surprised?